Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Gonna be giving you my starting 11 prediction for our game against Aston Villa. So I am gonna go with David De Gea in goal. I'm gonna go with Wan-Bissaka at right back. The two centre halves, Eric Bailly and Harry Maguire. At left back, I'm going to go with Luke Shaw. In the midfield, I'm going to go with Fred McTominay. I'm going to go with Bruno Fernandes ahead of them two. On the left, I'm going to go with Marcus Rashford. On the right, I'm going to go with Mason Greenwood. And up top, I'm going to go with Anthony Martial. So I think that's how we could line up against Aston Villa. Now, this will be a tough game for Manchester United. Villa have been in a good vein of form recently. I think they are sitting like 5th in the Premier League. And they are unbeaten in their last 5 games. The last time Aston Villa beat us was back in 2009. They beat us 1-0. It was a goal from Hall. So yeah, it's around 11 years ago now. The game at Old Trafford last season was 2-2. But we did beat them at Villa Park 3-0. Villa recently drew 1-1 with Chelsea. They've beaten Arsenal this season, beating them 3-0 at the Emirates. They battered Liverpool 7-2. They've won up against Wolves this season. They've beaten Leicester this season. Villa have got some good players in their team. Obviously, their best player is Jack Grealish. Manchester United have been relentlessly linked with him. And it actually said that Jack Grealish had a verbal agreement with Manchester United. It said the other week that Aston Villa are expecting bids from us and City in January. It also mentioned that Liverpool were interested in him because Mohamed Salah is reportedly unhappy at Liverpool. Now, we went in for Jack Grealish during the summer transfer window, but Aston Villa's valuation was £80 million. And that put us off. And we also had concerns about where he would fit in the team. Now, I think Villa value him at around £100 million, reflecting on his good performances. Back in September, he signed a 5-year contract with Aston Villa, so he committed his future with them. Up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Villa. He's been a Villa player since the age of 6, and I think he's been in their senior squad since 2014. Most of the time now he does play on that left-hand side. He recently got banned from driving, didn't he? I think Grealish will be in contention to play tomorrow night. Now, another one of their key players is Anwar Al-Ghazi. They've also got Wesley. Ollie Watkins, he's also one of their key players because he's made a fantastic impact since he went to Aston Villa. Villa got him earlier on this year. Tyrone Mings, he's very, very good. He's recently been suspended. Ross Barkley, they got him on loan earlier on this year. He has been out with injury recently. They've got that Trezeguet. He's also one of their key players. They've got Bertrand Traore, who they brought in earlier on this year. They've got that Matty Cash as well, who they brought in earlier on this year. They've got that Martinez, who they recommended in from Arsenal. So yeah, Villa have got some good players. Their current manager is Dean Smith. Now we're coming into this game on the back of a 1-0 win against Wolves. It obviously was a goal for Marcus Rashford in the 93rd minute of stoppage time. The goal was very, very fortuitous. It got deflected off Roman Saiz. But Rashford now has 51 goals in his career. It was a lovely threaded through ball though from Bruno Fernandes building up to the goal. Obviously that win against Wolves put us up to second in the table. We are now just 3 points behind Liverpool with a game in hand. Liverpool drew yesterday night with Newcastle 0-0. So if we do beat Aston Villa, we do go level on points with them. It certainly weren't the best of performances against Wolves, but all that matters is we got the 3 points. Now, if we do beat Aston Villa, we will extend our unbeaten run in the Premier League to 10, because I think we're unbeaten in our last 9 league games. And it will be our 4th win at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. Because obviously we've beaten Wolves at Old Trafford recently in the league. Beaten Leeds United 6-2. Best game we've enjoyed this season. And we beat West Brom 1-0. But you can say we was very fortunate to win that. After Aston Villa, we do play Man City in the Carabao Cup semi-final. That's going to be a difficult game. I think that game against Manchester City should go ahead. After Manchester City, we've got Watford in the FA Cup. We should be winning that. And then we are away to Liverpool, which is a massive, massive game. Now, like I updated you yesterday, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says we are not in the title races yet, but that's just Solskjaer playing mind games. He said if we are still challenging at the top come March, he believes that we are in the title race. Now, like I've said to you, I don't think we'll win the Premier League this season. I'm very sceptical we will, but I'm not going to fully disregard it. Now, if we do win the Premier League, it will be our first Premier League since 2013, and it will be our 21st title overall. Now, let me delve into something else. Do you think 2021 will be a good year for Manchester United? Well, I think it will be. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get backed by the board in the January transfer window. We've already made our plans for next year. We have got a lot of players on our agenda. It recently said that Solskjaer has made a new centre-back his number 1 transfer priority. But there's actually 4 positions we are looking to strengthen up. It says we're looking to get a right winger in, a centre-half in, a defensive midfielder and a right-back. Now, as you all know, Moises Caicedo he should be our first signing of the January transfer window. It does mention that a deal has been agreed for him, and it's said that Caicedo wants to come to Manchester United. It said not so long ago that he was undergoing his medical at the club, and he says we was going to get him for like 4.5 million with add-ons included, and he's set to sign a 5-year contract with Man United. Moises Caicedo currently plays for Independiente del Valle, made his debut around 14 months ago. I think he's played for Ecuador around 4 times, but he is the age of 19 and he's a holding midfielder. Now, yesterday I give you the news on Max Aarons. Reports from the Daily Mail and the Express said that Man United are interested in Max Aarons. He's a right back who plays for Norwich. Said he could be available for around £20 million. But we may have to wait until next summer to get him on the board. Tottenham and Barcelona have been interested before, and so too have Arsenal. Max Aarons is only the age of 20. He's been in Norwich's senior squad now for a few years. I think he's played around 99 games for them. He has got a contract with Norwich until 2024. He signed a 5-year contract back in July 2019. Before he was at Norwich, he was at Luton. We've also been looking at another right back, and that's Kieran Trippier from Atletico Madrid, but he's banned until March. Now, do you think Man United need a right back, really? Obviously, we've got Wan-Bissaka, who's our first choice right back. And he's enjoyed good games this season for Man United, where he's got forward a few times, he's got in decent positions, and he's put good crosses into the box. But we do have element of concerns about his lack of attacking intent and his distribution. This is Wan-Bissaka's second season at Manchester United. Now, we've got a few options at right back. You know, you've got Brandon Williams that can play at right back. We've obviously got Axel Tuanzebe that can play at right back, but he's not predominantly a right back. You've got Timothy Fosu-Mensah that can play at right back. By the way, I want to give you some news on him. He's reportedly rejected a 3.5-year deal from Man United, because it recently said we've offered him a 3.5-year deal. It says that Marcella and Hertha are the ones that are interested in him, and they're willing to pay a small fee for him, Fosu-Mensah. He seldom plays for Manchester United, to be honest with you. I think in the January transfer window, we are going to go in for Grealish, like I've already mentioned. Sancho, we could go in for him in January, but Fabrizio Romano said that Sancho will leave Dortmund next summer. And it said he prefers a move to Liverpool. Liverpool have been in for him a few times. I think Chelsea have recently reignited their interest in him. Jadon Sancho was our number one priority target during the summer, but Borussia Dortmund said that they wanted £108 million, which is a substantial amount. We was not willing to meet Borussia Dortmund's £108 million valuation, but it said a few times during the summer transfer window that the agent fees had been agreed, the personal terms had been agreed, but we couldn't come to an agreement on an actual fee, so that was the stumbling block. Fabrizio Romano spoken about the Sancho saga a few times, and so too did Bild's Christian Falk. But Dortmund made it clear to us, you know, they said we had until the 10th of August to get a deal over the line, and we obviously missed out on that deadline. But I think Sancho said a few times he wanted to come to United during the summer. He did make an admission earlier on this season saying that this season has been hard for him. He hasn't been that good this season, Sancho, but analysing the vast majority of his career at Dortmund, he's been very consistent. You know, he does score goals, he provides assists, he creates chances, his runs on and off the ball are good, predominantly plays as a right winger, but you can play him centrally. I think he's under contract with Dortmund, is it till 2022 or 2023? Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Man City. He enjoyed a couple of years at Man City. The main explanation he left Man City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. And before he was at City, he was at Watford. He was at Watford from the age of 7 to the age of 14. Earlier on this season, Borussia Dortmund sacked Lucien Favre because they was in a bad vein of form, and they did lose 5-1 to Stuttgart. And we was willing to offer Sancho the number 7. And he has got a good friendship with Marcus Rashford, don't forget. Ousmane Dembele, now, reports from Spain recently said that Man United are going to rekindle their interest in him. He says in January we either want to get him on loan or get him on a permanent deal. We went in for him during the summer, Ousmane Dembele, because we were seeing him as an alternative to Sancho. I think he's valued at around £55 million. And on deadline day, he skipped training with his teammates, and Barcelona were angered by his actions, so this is why they did want to sell him. Now, Mundo Deportivo recently said that Barcelona are ready to enter negotiations over possibly getting him a new deal. He's under contract with Barca till 2022. The element of concern about Ousmane Dembele is that he's injury prone. Sustained a few injuries at Barcelona, but he has been at Barcelona a few years now. Barcelona got him in a deal worth £135 million from Dortmund back in 2017. You know, could we go in for Erling Haaland next year? But like I said time and time again, his move to Man United is complicated because of Mini Oriola's poor relationship with Manchester United. I said it was a shame we missed out on Haaland back in January because he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. But yeah, we could be busy in the January transfer window. The January transfer window is going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as Man United manager. Now, it's already said that we are planning for January and next summer as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as Manchester United manager. And I said he will be here next year, and he could still be here at the end of the season. Probably will be here at the end of the season, should I say. Just hopefully this good vein of form continues. We're going to get rid of players next year, like I've gone through with you time and time again. I think the players that we're going to get rid of next year is Jesse Lingard, definitely, because he doesn't regularly get in our team now. And he was very inconsistent when he was playing. Don't forget there was a period where Lingard didn't score 1 goal or get 1 assist in the Premier League for over a year. I think he's into the final 6 months of his contract. A few clubs have been interested in Lingard. I think we'll also offload Phil Jones. You know, Phil Jones has been very, very inconsistent. And he's out with injury at the moment, but I think he's back in January. This is Phil Jones' 10th season at the football club. You know, he's been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We've got him from Blackburn. I think we'll also offload Marcus Rojo. Rojo hasn't established himself as a first-team regular since he came to Man United. You know, he's been at the club since 2014. We got him from Sporting Lisbon. Last season, he was out on loan with Estudiantes. Like I said, Fossa Mensah could go. Romero could go. Romero is now our 3rd choice goalkeeper. Romero's enjoyed a good 5 years or so at Man United. We got him on a free from San Pandora back in 2015. I'm expecting Ighalo to leave in January when his loan expires. We got Odi and Igalo on deadline day in January early on this year. The main explanation we brought him in was to get a cover up for Rashford, because last season Marcus Rashford was out with that back injury. Igalo doesn't get in the team a lot now, but to his credit, he was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. There's rumours of obviously Daniel James going out on loan. Doesn't play a lot now, Daniel James. Obviously, James did play in the Leeds game the other week, put a good performance out, and he played in the Leicester game, but prior to that, hasn't really had a lot of opportunities this season. Leeds are the ones that have been interested. I heard that West Brom have been interested in getting him in on loan. We got Daniel James in June 2019. Got him in a deal worth £18 million. We're expecting Paul Pogba to leave next year. I don't think he'll go in January. I think if he leaves, he'll go next summer. That's more likely to happen. Matic could go next year, and so too could Juan Mata. But it's good that he's going to get the backing that he deserves, Solskjaer, because during the summer transfer window, he wasn't backed enough by the board because we missed out on all of his priority targets, and Ollie showed his frustration quite a few times towards the board during the summer transfer window. But the board haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Ferguson left, and our recruiting policy has obviously been very poor. So this is the reasons why the board has been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years. But Woodward has come out several times, hasn't he, earlier on this year, to support Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, despite us having a poor start to the season and despite us getting knocked out of the Champions League. But yeah, I think we'll make at least one signing in the January transfer window. We'll make a few next summer as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, though, has made some good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. He spent over £200 million at the club. In the summer of 2019, he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In the January transfer window, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and he brought Odi and Igalo in on loan. And in the summer transfer window of this year, he brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Facundo Pellistri and Amad Diallo Traore. Traore should be joining in January. We got 4 of those players on deadline day though during the summer. So we do actually take time in getting players in. But hopefully that won't be the case in January and next summer. We'll get players in there and then and not wait a long period of time. You know, we've seen a lot of players depart the club since Solskjaer got recommended in. You know, we have got rid of some of the deadwood. Maybe you can say Lukaku and Ander Herrera are 2 players we should have kept because they were very consistent for Man United. But we did definitely make the right decision by getting rid of Sanchez. Because Sanchez endured difficult 18 months at the club, was it? And his wages were having a bad effect on the club. We made the right decision by getting rid of Darmian because he seldom played at the club. Smalling. Do you think we should have kept Smalling? I like Smalling. He weren't world class, but I still liked him as a centre-half. Certainly better than Phil Jones and certainly better than Marcus Rojo. Smalling's obviously now at Roma. We made the right decision by getting rid of Ashley Young. Young was a long servant at Man United. He endured around 8.5 years at the club, was it? Probably had around 2 or 3 good years out of the 8.5 years he was with us. Valencia. Obviously, he was aging up. He endured 10 years at Manchester United, Valencia. Angel Gomez left. The reason he left because he didn't hardly get in the team, did he? Angel Gomez. We've obviously loaned a few players out as well, as you all know. Dylan Levitt went out on loan. I think James Garner went out on loan. Joe Pryor went out on loan again, didn't he? Chon, he went out on loan. So, yeah. But we have got to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer some credit. You know, he's got us up to 2nd place. And no way in a million years I thought we'd have been in second place with how poor we started the season. It just shows you what a few wins can do. It just totally changes the complexion of the table. You've also got to give him credit because he's got us to the EFL Cup semi-final this season. You've got to give him a lot of credit for what he did in his first full season, which was last season, because he got us qualification for the Champions League. He got us third, and he also guided us to 3 semi-finals. And I think he showed tactical flexibility in some games. Actually, it's come in a lot of the big games as that tactical flexibility is shown. So he does deserve credit. Like I've said to you time and time again, my concern about Solskjaer is his decision making, because he has made mistakes in a lot of games, and that's obviously cost Man United. Obviously, he hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager. Well, before he came to Man United, he didn't really have it, did he? Because obviously he was at Molde, he won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. And before then, he was at Cardiff. And he enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Cardiff. He ended up getting Cardiff relegated. But reflecting how long he's been at Man United, he's gained some managerial experience and he's learned quite a bit. You know, he's been Man United manager now for just over 2 years. This is his second full season at the football club. Second full season. And I always said this season was going to be big for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And if we win the Premier League, that'll be brilliant. But if we just win a trophy and it's not the Premier League, and we finish in the top 4, the top 3, I think that will represent a very good season for Man United. Then that will give us something to build on. Won't it? Ole's under contract with the football club until 2022. We appointed him in December 2018, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. We give him the job permanently, reflect on what he did in that 3-month period when he was temporary boss. I think he won 14 games out of 19 in all competitions. Yeah. Solskjaer's been under pressure quite a few times at the club though since he got appointed in, because we've enjoyed bad periods under him. Don't forget, you know, you can say that Solskjaer was lucky not to be sacked after the 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. You can say that Solskjaer was lucky not to be sacked after we got knocked out of the Champions League. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked with how poor our home form has been. But he's starting to improve now because we're getting wins at home. You can say he's lucky not to be sacked at the first part of last season as well. So yeah, he has been very, very close. But now anyway, we're enjoying a good period. You know, we enjoyed a good period last season because we went on 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions last season. But Mauricio Pochettino was the favourite to take over at the club. Pochettino's no longer on our agenda now because I think he's taking over at PSG, like he updated you on Christmas Eve. Julian Nagelsmann, he's been on our agenda a few times. Thomas Tuchel has. But yeah, Solskjaer's here to stay now, definitely. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.